Well, it's Friday night, and you know what that means? It's Friday Night Bourbon Fight! Today's bout, my favorite, Cooper's Craft Barrel Reserve. Now, this is a Brown-Forman product. You usually can find it in the low 30s. It's 100 proof. I believe it's about a 4 to 6 year old bourbon, somewhere in there. It's not age stated. Well, it's going up against the value price king, Early Times Bottled in Bond. Now, I've done first pour reviews on both of these bourbons, and they are spectacular for what they offer. But head to head, I'm wondering how they're going to do. Is my favorite Cooper's Craft going to get beaten by the value king? Well, let's get to it and see. Okay, if you've not been to a bourbon fight, the rules are pretty simple. We have 3 rounds. In the first round, it's all about aroma. Each contestant can get up to 5 points. In round 2, it's all about taste. Each opponent can get up to 10 points. And if one opponent just knocks out the other in taste, we declare a TKO and the match is over. Winner declared. The third round is all about finish. What lingers after you drink the bourbon. Each opponent can get up to 5 points, so a total of 20 points. So let's get right to it. The opponent on the left is the Cooper's Craft Barrel Reserve. Now there's 2 Cooper's Crafts, so the one with the cork and the kind of squarish looking bottle, that's the Cooper's Craft Barrel Reserve. And it comes in at 100 proof. I believe it's a 4-year-old bourbon. It's made by Brown-Forman. To me, it's got the typical Brown-Forman rich taste, kind of like the old Forester products have. This is one of my daily sippers. I love this product. The value price leader, obviously, is the Early Times. Now, the Early Times Bottled in Bond is in a 1-liter product, and it's got such a fantastic taste for the money. I mean, it's a little edgy. It's not quite as refined as some bourbons. It does come with a screw cap. Don't let that keep you from buying it, of course. But it's just such a good overall product. And we've done first pour reviews on both of these products. And if you've not tried them, they're both very reasonable. The Cooper's Craft is in the low 30s usually, $31, $32. The Early Times, usually anywhere from $25 to $27. So it won't break the bank if you went to your bottle shop tomorrow and got one of these. They're both fantastic products. But head to head, which one's going to win? That's the question that I wanted to know and why we put them in the fight tonight. So I've got my little scorecard here and ready to go. And we're going to start off, ding, ding, ding. It's all about the aroma. So we're going to start off on the left first with the Cooper's Craft. Give it a little swirl. Now I get, I would say a sweet bourbon smell from this, and sweet, when I say sweet, molasses, brown sugar, vanilla. I mean, it's like candy. The smell is wonderful. I do get some dark fruits in there. Cherries, raspberries. Very, very nice. I mean, like a cherry tart fresh out of the oven. That's what it smells like. Now up, Early Times Bottled in Bond. This is a Sazerac produced product. It used to be a Brown-Forman a couple years ago. And the question becomes, in some of the channels, is whether this is actually Brown-Forman juice or Sazerac. I'm good with it either way. As long as they keep the taste and the quality, doesn't matter to me. And this does smell different than the Cooper's. I don't get the molasses that I got off the Cooper's. It's a little less sweet, but I still get that brown sugar vanilla flavor. But I don't really get the dark fruits that I got off the Cooper's. I mean, there's something in there. And almost getting almost like a chocolate smell too. So kind of like chocolate covered cherries, but heavy on the chocolate, light on the cherry. Both of them have excellent aromas. In this round, the Cooper's Craft beats because just those wonderful molasses, brown sugar, and then a dark fruit just comes through, and the proof doesn't get to you too much. The Early Times was a little proof heavy and more on the sugary side and not too much on the dark fruits. So we'll put the scores on the screen as I'm scoring. All right, ding, ding, ding. On to taste. In this round, 10 points. If one of the contestants is behind, they can catch up easily in this round. So we're going to let the Early Times go first. Give it a little swirl. Get some pepper spice right up front. I do get some dark fruits. I can't really identify them. They're not real prominent. It's not quite as sweet as I remembered it, but it's good. It does have a bold taste. So up next, Cooper's Craft Barrel Reserve. You know, it's kind of amazing how similar the taste profile is, but with distinct differences. Both have that kind of peppery spice up front. Both have bold flavors, but the Cooper's Craft seems a little more refined. You get more of those dark fruits, and whether they're cherries or raspberries, I can't really tell, just like the Early Times. So back to the Early Times. I don't know why I'm swirling it when I'm just drinking. I just get used to it because of all the videos that I do smelling bourbon. It's a habit. Well, both of them are so similar in taste. I mean, they could be brother and sister, first cousins. The Cooper's is definitely a little bit sweeter. The Early Times has a flavor that just draws you in. It's got a great Kentucky hug going on there, and it doesn't taste like a $25, $26 bourbon. It doesn't. It tastes up there with the Cooper's, just a little bit different flavor profile. But wow, they're equally good for different reasons. I can't explain it. They're equally good for different reasons. So we're going to score it and we'll put it on the screen. Well, I have to say that that round was a tie. The Cooper's Craft is still my favorite, but the Early Times, I forgot how good it was. And head to head, it's hard to say that this one's actually better than this one because those differences in the spice and the fruit flavors and the sweeter versus not sweet, or the sweetness, they hold their own. They each of them steps up to the plate, or in this case, steps in the ring. All right, ding, ding, ding. Now it's all about finish. What lingers with you afterwards? Now, I have a good idea about this one, but we're going to go ahead and taste it one more time and let the finish set in and see what we think. So now it's back to the Cooper's Craft goes first. Doom, 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 doom. Doom, 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 doom. Okay, I have an answer. The baking spices that I get up front come into the palate at first with that fruit. And as the fruit starts to go away, the baking spices stay there and linger. And it's great. It's not too peppery. It's a nice, baking spice type of finish. Stronger on the front, on the tip of the tongue, but then stays with you into the finish. It's wonderful. It's why it's one of my daily pours, daily sippers. It's just a wonderful experience. So let's go on to the Challenger Early Times Bottle and Bond. Wow. So close in the finish. Cooper's Craft had that wonderful baking spice that came as the fruit was going out. The baking spice stayed with you and it was great. The Early Times, you didn't really have that fruit on the palate. So what happened when the sweetness went away fairly quickly, you were left with more of a peppery finish. It was okay, not bad, but not near as good as the Cooper's Craft. So we're going to score this round. All right, when we come back, we're going to tally up the results and give you some final thoughts on this excellent bout tonight. The Cooper's Craft continues to be one of my daily sippers. That hasn't changed. I love this product. It's such a reasonable price, and it's a bottle that I refill. This is probably my second one since I started getting into the Cooper's Craft. The Early Times, this is still my first bottle, and I'll have to say it keeps surprising me every time I have it. It is so close in profile to the Cooper's Craft, still a little different, still a little edgy, still not quite as refined, but wow, I mean, what a great value for the money. I mean, I see this everywhere for like $25. You just can't beat it. So where did Early Times get beat? Well, the Cooper's had 1 point advantage in the aroma. It just has a great aroma, and that dark fruits and the molasses and everything just comes through. It's just wonderful sniffing it in a glass. The Early Times has a good traditional bourbon smell to it, but nothing special, but it's still good. So it lost by 1 point. In taste, well, like I said, I couldn't decide which one was better. They're different enough that they're special in their own way, and so I gave them both an 8. In finish, that's where Early Times, just because probably of its age and its refinement, it lost a point again. It didn't have the finish that I had on the Cooper's Craft. It still has a nice finish, and had it not be going against the Cooper's Craft, it might have won the day in finish. It has a good finish. The Cooper's Craft finish is excellent. So my analysis is this. The Early Times could beat any bourbon on any night here at Bourbon Writers, depending on what you put against it. The Cooper's Craft had the edge tonight, but any one of these bourbons behind me could lose against it on another night. Final score was 16 for the Cooper's Craft and 14 for the Early Times. It really, in my mind, it's a lot closer. I mean, really is. You could probably give me the Early Times in a glass and tell me it's the Cooper's Craft, and it'd take a minute for me to figure it out. It really would. It's just that good. So, don't let the screw top bother you. It is an excellent buy, and to me, it's still the king of value-priced bourbons. Cooper's Craft is still the king of my daily sippers. So, we hope you enjoyed this video, and you'll come back for more content like this. And always, please drink responsibly, never drink and drive, and we'll see you next time. Doom, 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 doom. Okay, I have an answer.